I am so glad you're here to learn all about significant figures, one of the most complicated and frustrating things for students to learn when taking chemistry. And the reason it's so frustrating is because even if you can do all the math correctly, you can still end up losing points just by a simple rounding error. So today, I'm going to teach you all the tips, tricks, and rules to make sure that you don't miss any points on your next exam. But first we need to set some ground rules by being able to identify what even is a significant figure. Any non-zero digit is always going to be significant. So for this case, 9.32, all three of those are significant because they're non-zero digits. In our next value, we have 5602, and notice we do have 0 in this case. However, because it is an internal 0, meaning it is in between two non-zero digits, we would say that it is significant. So as a result, 5602 has 1, 2, 3, 4 significant figures. In our next example, we have zeros that are leading and trailing, and these are treated differently. In the example where we have 0.090, these first two zeros are actually not significant. We would say that those are leading because they precede a non-zero digit. And even though they come after a decimal place in certain instances, we would say that neither of these are significant. We know that 9 is significant because it's a non-zero digit, but the 0 that comes after this is also significant for two reasons. Number one, it follows a decimal place, and that's important. And the second reason is that it also follows a non-zero digit. So as a result, we would say that this value has two significant figures. In our next example, though, we have 900. Notice that the 9 is for sure significant because it's a non-zero digit. And in this case, these trailing zeros are non-significant, and the reason for that is because there's no decimal. Notice that this one was significant because it followed a non-zero digit and also followed a decimal point. So as a result, we would say that in this case, there is only one significant figure. And this isn't just some random classroom rule. You see, precision really matters in science. NASA once lost a $120 million spacecraft because of a numerical mismatch between teams using different measurement systems. And while that was a units issue, not specifically sig figs, it shows why scientists care deeply about numerical precision. Because even little mistakes can have huge problems. So you're saying if I mess this up, I'm going to destroy Mars? Probably just your quiz grade, but still. Now let's start with the first rule. When it comes to addition and subtraction, when trying to determine how many numbers of significant figures there are, this comes down to the total number of decimal places in each value. This means that even though this first number, 12.43, has 4 sig figs, we only care that it goes to the second decimal place. Similarly, for 8.2, even though there are 2 significant figures, we only care that it goes to the first decimal place. So let's say we were to perform this calculation. If you plug this into a calculator, you would see that 12.43 plus 8.2 is equal to 20.65. And then we still need to make sure that we're subtracting by our 1.15 in our next calculation. However, since we've already done a calculation, this has changed the number of significant figures that we can consider in 20.65. Remember, in this first value, we went to the second decimal place. But in the second value, we only have the first decimal place. And that means that even though the result of this addition was 20.65, we keep the lowest decimal place. So I'm going to show you a trick that you can underline the lowest decimal place that corresponds to our last significant figure. But importantly, we're not going to round here, and that's what trips people up, because if we were to round this, it would become 20.7, and that's going to change our next calculation, but we don't round until the very end. Now you would say that 20.65 has 4 significant figures. However, since I have underlined this first decimal place, that is indicating to me that I'm going to keep the remaining values that come after. However, this one is the last significant one. And notice then I'm going to subtract 1.15 from that, which goes to the second decimal place. And when you perform this calculation, you see that this ends up being 19.48. And this is important because now we can round, but we need to make sure that we round to the last significant figure. And again, for addition and subtraction, that means the one with the lowest number of decimal places. Now you might be saying to yourself that both of these go to the second decimal place. However, remember, we specifically called out this one as being the last decimal place, which means this is the first decimal place, which means our final product needs to be rounded to the first decimal place. And that means that our final answer reported to the correct number of significant figures is actually going to be 19.5, and this would be the correct final answer. And notice we use that rule of keeping the lowest decimal place, but only rounding at the end, and the way that we kept track of that was by underlining the significant figures that matter most for our problem. Next up are the rules for multiplication and division, but if you want even more practice instead of just watching, then check the link in the description for an app I developed called ChemCore. It contains thousands of practice problems and even the ability to make your own practice exams so you can make sure that you ace your next one in chemistry. So less guessing, more winning. Exactly. Now the rules for multiplication and division are a little bit different than they were for addition and subtraction. For multiplication and division, problems like this, you will always round to the number of lowest significant figures. In these examples, we are not going to consider anything related to the decimal places. So for example, in this first number, 4.56, there are 3 total numbers of significant figures. And in the second number, 2.1, there are 2 total numbers of significant figures. When that means that when we go to round our final answer, we will round to 2 since this is the lowest number of significant figures. So if you were to perform this calculation, you would see that 4.56 times 2.1 is equal to 9.576. But importantly, remember, we're going to round to the second significant figure since we're using a different set of rules. And this means that our true final answer reported to the correct number of significant figures is 9.6. Chemistry really said, new rule, good luck. Exactly, but remember, no matter which rule you're using, the trick that you can use to make sure that you don't trip yourself up is to wait until the very end to round your answer. Importantly, we can keep track of which numbers are significant even though we don't round by just underlining the last significant figure following a calculation. So the underlining thing is kind of like planting a flag. Exactly. Now let's try a problem that combines the rules for addition and subtraction as well as multiplication and division. But remember, we need to use the correct order of operations, and that is PEMDAS, which you've probably seen before. Accordingly, we need to make sure that we're doing the calculation inside of the parentheses before anything else. That's what the P in PEMDAS stands for. And inside the parentheses, we have a subtraction, which means we need to keep the lowest number of decimal places. So in the 15.2, it's the first decimal place, and in 3.41, it's the second decimal place, which means that we'll make sure to underline the first decimal place following our calculation. And once you perform this calculation, you would see that the answer is 11.79. But remember, I'm going to underline the 7 since that corresponds to the less number of decimal places. But again, importantly, I'm not going to actually round this number until the very end. Next up, we can do our division, and we're dividing by 2.5. But remember, we have to switch the rules. Now we need to switch to keeping the least number of total significant figures. So in our first example, we have 11.79, but the 7 is the last sig fig, which means that this value only has a total of 3 significant figures. And we are dividing that by 2.5, which contains 2 significant figures, which means that our final answer should only have 2 significant figures. And when we perform this calculation, you see that it is equal to 4.716. But remember, we're only going to underline the second significant figure because that one is the last one that is actually significant following our order of operation and our rules for significant figures, which means that our final answer reported to the correct number of significant figures is equal to 4.7. Next up is the final boss problem. This is the one that even ChatGPT got wrong before I corrected it. Pause the video now and see if you can answer the significant figures problem, and then resume the video to check your answers. Now this is a pretty tricky problem, but if you use the rules learned in this video, then you should be just fine. And if you're getting value from this content, make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you never miss out on another video. Following the PEMDAS order of operations, we should begin by adding these 3 values together. And since we're doing an addition, that means that we're going to keep the least number of decimal places. So in our first value, we have the first decimal place, and our second value, again, the first decimal place, and in our third value, again, just the first decimal place. So that should let us know that no matter what we get from our calculator, when we perform this calculation, we should underline the first decimal place. And when you perform this calculation, you get a value of 31.72. And remember, we're going to underline the 7 since it's in that first decimal place. And then from here, we can carry out our calculation by dividing by 3, and then also remember we're going to multiply at the end by 4.21 since that value resides outside of the brackets and the parentheses. So now we're switching the rules because now we've moved from an addition to a division. And remember, the multiplication and division rules is that we keep the lowest number of total significant figures. The value of 3 is only one significant figure, and the value 31.72 is only 3 significant figures. So this value has 3 sig figs, and this value has only 1 sig fig. And that means that we'll need to underline just the 1 sig fig following this calculation. And if you plug this value into your calculator, you would get a value of 10.57333 repeating. But remember, importantly, since we only are keeping the first significant figure in this value, I'm actually going to underline the 1. And this comes from the fact that this 3 is only 1 sig fig. And then I need to bring down the fact that we're also still going to multiply it by 4.21. And when you multiply this value by 4.21, you'll see that our answer is equal to 44.51373, etc., etc. That keeps on going. But importantly, remember I multiplied here, and I'm multiplying a value that contains 3 sig figs for 4.21, and even though our number here is 10.5733333, only the 1 is significant because this only has 1 sig fig, which we kept track of by underlining it. And that means that my final answer needs to be reported to just the first significant figure. And that means that in order to get this question correct on an exam, you should have written that the correct answer was 40. And this was a problem that even ChatGPT got wrong. Oh, I would absolutely get this wrong under pressure. I know, remember, sig figs can be tricky, but for addition and subtraction, as long as you make sure that you round to the fewest decimal places, for multiplication and division, make sure that you round to the fewest significant figures, and then on multi-step problems, use the underlining trick for the last limiting digit, and then only round at the end, you shouldn't miss any more problems related to significant figures. And you can practice more of these types of problems in the ChemCore app in the description, and keep practicing until it becomes second nature, and I'll see you in the next video.